I'm smiling.
Yeah, I have this saying, is don't harsh my mellow.
I want to introduce you to Baker-Willford. She earned her MA in Communication Studies from Marshall University in 2006.
If you have knowledge, you have the ability to do anything and go anywhere you want to go.
In addition, she has extensive coursework in autism education and educational leadership.
And I saw education as a way to show people that in fact they were valuable.
She currently serves on the Governor's Council for People with Disabilities, as well as the Secretary of State's ADA Advisory Council. All of her advocacy and education has been as a direct result of her own visual disability and her ASD diagnosis of her son Nathan.
I saw education as a way to give myself opportunities that didn't have to do with my disability.
She owns her own motivational and educational public speaking business. I hope you will welcome, I know you will welcome Baker-Willford.
Hello. I wanted to have a presentation today that would not only give you some motivation, some information, but try to give you some practical tips and things as well, because I've been to many conferences and I've been to many presentations, and nothing is quite as discouraging as not coming away with anything tangible. I like that tangible, that piece that says, hey, I can use this to make people's lives better. Today I want to talk to you about inclusive technology and the idea that because community integration and community inclusion is so important for the consumers, for everyone, not just people with disabilities, that we want to make sure that technology is there to assist. We use the technology we have in our environment already to create positive outcomes for people with disabilities. Creating a goal for someone else, while isn't necessarily a bad thing, needs to be secondary to the idea that if I want to do this, if a person wants to do so, if I determine in my life that this is important to me, it's going to make a lot more sense for me. I'm going to be more participatory, I'm going to be more involved, and it's going to be more meaningful. Meaningful. It's got to mean something. Taking someone to an activity that they have either no interest in or makes no relevant change in their life, well, you might as well sit home and save yourself the money. I mean, let's be realistic here. It's manageable if there's good time availability, if it's meaningful, if it's self-determined. You divide that by your cost, whatever the cost of the application might be. Another cost to consider is the time that it's going to take. So your inclusion divided by your cost is your yield. What does this give you? More importantly, what does this give your consumer? What does this give a person with a disability? How great of a return of investment do you have? But now this is the part to me that's kind of that tactile, or it's that input. This is what I hope you take away from this, that you might be able either to use directly in the field, or you might be able to share with those direct support professionals in your organization. These icons that are up here, you can click on this in the presentation and it will take you to either the application site or it will take you to a site that talks about it, okay? I did that to make things easier for you. Aren't you appreciative? Yeah, okay. Living Safely is an application that covers many areas of daily living skills and community activities. So looking at safety issues in the community. This isn't so much something that someone would use out in the community as much as they would use in preparation for going places and doing activities in a safe way. A lot of good an assistive piece of technology does if you can't access it. And remember, we go back to that SMART, and one of those is accessible. Vision, of course, this is mine. This is the one that I utilize the most often. There's voiceover. I can set my phone and it reads me everything on my screen. Love it. You have this equipment, and we talked about, is it portable? Is it accessible? If you can't carry it with you, it's not accessible. Community inclusion is not something to write on a form. It's not something just to fill out as part of a plan. It's life. And more than anything else in this presentation, I want to share that with you. This is life. This isn't about, well, we met a goal. Well, we can check this off our worksheet. This is life, and it's important. One of the questions I have for everybody in the room is, how much direct involvement do you have with the consumers in regards to benefits planning and some of these things? Hopefully, what this module will do is to show you, even if you don't have a direct connection to helping the consumer get these benefits or maintain these benefits, hopefully it will give you a better understanding. How do you get a consumer to understand some of these things? So as I present them, try to be thinking about, how could I help a consumer understand some of these things? Well, that's projecting, your opinion onto the individual. So if you simply give them information and explain what that might mean, they can make a more informed choice. SSDI, income from work must be less than SGA. Who knows what SGA is? Good guess, but no. Substantial gainful employment, or SGA, which would be substantial gainful activity, usually produced by employment. That's the idea. Or self-employment, traditional employment or self-employment. SGA amounts vary depending on the disability, because they just can't make it any more confusing. So, game show question number 8. Which of these is not a benefit that is available from the Social Security Administration? If there is one single question in this slide presentation that is a tricky one, this is it. They also look to see if you are still medically approved. There are a few exceptions to this. The one exception is categorically eligible individuals. And that's why education is so important for the consumers that you help, because it's easy to give up. But if they have good education, they understand that they could do any of A, B, or C.